I had a very high anticipation of getting married, and I had some funny fairy tales around the kind of marriage I expected. I told myself that I would not build a house because I was going to marry somebody who lived in a bungalow. That was my childhood picture of the kind of marriage Emma wanted.
Hi there. Welcome once again to the ePort, which is the podcast service for the Church of Pentecost E-Church. And as always, we bring you discussions on topics that affect our daily lives and even our Christian walk. And we believe that this episode is going to be a blessing to you as well. Before we start our discussions, I want to put it in context that as a church, we affirm the scriptural teaching of marriage, that it is God who instituted to be a lifelong union between a man and a woman. And then we also affirm in our tenets, which is the family life, as part of the tenets of the Church of Pentecost. We believe that it is meant to be a permanent union. If we read Matthew 19:6, it talks about the fact that what God has put together, let no man put asunder. However, we also find ourselves in a broken system or a broken world where we have couples who come into contact with adverse issues in this beautiful union God had instituted, and for which reason it ends up in it being truncated along the way. In this episode, we are looking at this discussion, which is marriage, divorce, and remarriage. And we are blessed to have with us in the studios one special woman, a member of the church, and she's here to tell her story courageously. Let us in into her life to know certain details about her life with regards to these areas we have talked about, and see how we can pick lessons from there. I'm so happy to have with us Miss Adwoa Appiah Oseidua. I hope I got the name correct.
Oseidua.
Oh, Oseidua, yes. So it's Miss Adwoa Appiah Oseidua. Great, thank you. So great to have you.
Thank you too, Osofo.
Yes, and I think I know. I call her Auntie Emma. Sometimes I've had to know her at some time in life, and she's been one supporting woman, I would say, in my life. And I'm so happy that we have this conversation today. God richly bless you. Now, we want you to introduce yourself to us, maybe give us a bit of a background to who Miss Emma Oseidua is.
Thank you very much, Osofo, and praise the Lord to all of you. As he's mentioned, my name is Emma Adwoa Appiah Oseidua, and I was born to Alex Oseidua and Margaret Oseidua. In that union, I'm the first, but in that family, I'm the third girl for my dad and the second girl for my mom. So my dad calls me Adwoa Menu, Adwoa Mansa.
Second, third. Oh, great.
So I grew up with the two in a godly way. And this is how I describe it. We'll go to church on Sunday, close around 12, sometimes come home, have lunch, and go back for scripture union or Christian, this community Christian union.
Okay.
So that was how I grew up. And all I knew about marriage was like that. Live together, go to work, come home, Sunday, go to church, go to scripture union. Children go for camp meetings, Sunday school. And that was my life growing up.
Wow. So it means that growing up, you have had a template of marriage, seeing how it was in your home. And I believe that you also had some anticipations or some expectations of you getting married one day. What were your expectations then?
Yes. In fact, I admired my parents' union. It was so nice for me. And I believe for a lot of people around us, it was like that because jump a bit forward, when I got divorced initially, a friend of mine or a guy who grew around us was like, Emma, you are not a divorce material. Those words have rung in my head up to date. I keep thinking about them. Why? Because he also saw the kind of relationship my parents had. And many a time, what we see outside is different from what the couples themselves experience. I'm saying this because I told my mother when in the heat of the divorce, I told her, I want to leave because you are asking me not to leave because you had a smooth relationship. I never saw you guys fight, but only one day, but that was just an argument. And she said, yes, we have different levels of handling differences. And that was how we handled ours. But we chose that Christ would be at the center of ours. That is how you guys never saw us blowing it out.
Okay.
Yes. So I had a very high anticipation of getting married, and I had some funny fairy tales around the kind of marriage I expected. I told myself that I would not build a house because I was going to marry somebody who lived in a bungalow. My father used to be the supervisor for government building projects.
Okay.
So we visited a lot of people in the bungalows. And I spent some weekends and midterms in some bungalows. So that was my expectation. So I'll marry a man who lives in a bungalow. I don't need to build a house. When we are done with the bungalows, at that time he would have built a house himself and we'll move in. That was my childhood picture of the kind of marriage Emma wanted.
Amazing. Yes, and I believe that we all do have some pictures in our minds based on the environment where we grow. And now you are grown up. We fast forward through your education and everything. You have become a woman. You want to get married. Take us into how you ended up in your marriage, the first one.
Okay. I've been married twice.
Great.
Divorced once. Abandoned once.
Great.
As I speak, I will explain the two.
Sure.
Yes. So in that kind of home, I ended up in a training college, finished training as a certificated teacher. My interest was in mathematics, so I later furthered that to become a mathematics educationist.
Wow.
And I practiced that for 15 years, and I still have the love for mathematics.
Mathematics.
Anytime you ask me to, I can do that for you.
Maybe later we'll talk about how you ended up where you are now. From maths to...
we'll link that. Link that. But math is a basis for everything. These microphones are placed at specific angles so we can get a better voice. So that is mine. Yeah, so finishing with training college, I came home. And we lived in a town in the eastern region. Around the late 90s, what I saw in that town was that young ladies, pretty ladies, were identified by elderly women for their family members, children or nephews and all. So the queen mother of the town invited me. And once an elderly person who is not in your league, I mean, it's not your friend in any way, calls you, first thing you should think of is going to propose something like a union or ask you to become a friend to somebody. So when she called me, I didn't respond. I didn't go. Because I was not ready for that kind of discussion.
You knew that was going to be the discussion?
I suspected that. Because I told you that was the trend that I had observed.
Okay.
And my mother, one evening, I overheard my mother having a chat with my dad because he had built a house which was not properly done, but we had to move in. Okay. So the roofing was just the iron sheets on the cement blocks. so you could eavesdrop on their conversation from their room. So I overheard him tell him that your sister has asked that I asked Emma to see her. So after some time, he called me, and I'm my daddy's pet.
Okay.
They said I looked like him. Miraculously, after he passed, people say I look like my mom.
Your
so
mom.
I don't know when when it changed, but I know I look like my dad. So daddy called me and said, "Oh, Auntie so and so called you. Have you attended to the call?" Like, no. So try and do that. I said, okay. So that day, when I went to see that aunt of mine, I was with her in the room, and she invited two guys.
Okay.
Two guys who were like a decade older than me came into the room. So she said, "Oh, I invited you so I could discuss with you this very meeting. I have a son who is interested in you." So the guy just said, "Yes, I'm interested in you. I do not need you as a girlfriend. I want to marry you."
Wow.
Also, I can tell you, then I cannot mention or count the number of weddings, people's weddings, not family members, that my mother dressed me up to attend.
Wow.
We lived in the Volta region before we came to the Eastern region.
Okay.
And she used to do, as a side hustle, come to Accra to buy wedding accessories, trouser length shirts to come and sell. So when she comes and there is a wedding up in the line, we were still Pentecost members. She will buy clothes for me so that I attend. I am not any significant figure in the wedding, but this woman will dress me up.
So you just go.
So that I go. I remember when I first completed the training college, one funny thing happened in my school. I was a senior college women's prefect, and when the school recesses, the prefects wait to have a meeting to close up. And at that time, they brought meals. Today, they don't do those things, letters.
Okay.
So we got the letters and tried to send them to their owners, but there were two of them that had mismatched names. In fact, those names didn't exist.
Okay.
So instead of just abandoning them, I opened them.
Okay.
And I was in the room with my deputy women's prefect. So when I opened them, she was like, "What are you doing, Oseidua?" And I said, "Oh, so for listen." I said, "I have opened them to know exactly whose letters they are. If I can still not identify them, then I'll reply the writer."
Wow.
"So what will you get from this?" She asked me. She's called Sister Adelaide. She asked me, and I said, "Oh, perhaps one of them may follow up to come and marry me." I just said that.
Whoa.
I just said that. It was just a harmless statement. So I did that, and I posted the replies. And the letter was this: "I'm sorry to reply you this letter. I am not the person you expected to receive this letter, but this is my position in the school for which I'm doing this, so that you know that your letter didn't arrive. But in case you want further explanation, my address is P.O. Box 1, so and so town." And my name was there. So before I went for that meeting, one day I was pounding fufu. I had completed training college. I was just 19 or 20 about, and I used to wear very short hair. So I was pounding fufu. My mother was sitting turning it, and a fair-colored young man walked into the house. And I was like, "I'm looking for Miss Oseidua." And my mother pointed at me. And the guy said, "No, for someone who has been the senior college prefect of a training college should be huge."
Yeah.
And of course, I had classmates who were 45 and I was 19.
Wow.
Yeah. So my mother said, "She's the one who just came from that school you are mentioning. So when she's done with the fufu, she will see you. Please sit." So the guy sat down. So when I was done, I went to him and said, "Oh, my name is so and so. You don't know me. I wrote a letter to my cousin that I had not met before.
Wow.
And I mixed up the name. So you replied it. And coincidentally, I completed pharmacy at Tech and I went into ministry. So I am done with a section of my course at Trinity College, and they have posted me to this circuit and Methodist. And this circuit has two big towns. So one town has taken my accommodation and the other has taken my feeding. So I go there to feed and I come to sleep here, or the other way around, I don't know. So I realized one afternoon that this was the town that was on the address. So I will look for the lady. That lady should be very bold. And I used to be daringly bold. Now circumstances
Has
have
it changed a bit?
reduced a lot.
Okay.
Why would you reply somebody's letter? So he asked people of my surname, Oseidua. And, oh, Papa Oseidua. My dad was never called Oseidua. Mr. Oseidua. His house is also and so place. So he came. At that time, they were fixing the road in front of our house. It's a major road. So he walked through the mud. The place is clayey. And it was in a rainy season. So he walked through that mud to come. And so we had that chat and he left. The next day he came again. Straight ahead, would you want me to marry you? I'm like, is this guy serious? You don't know me from anywhere. All of a sudden, you want to marry me. And I didn't understand anything. I didn't know the qualities you need to look for to marry. All I felt was necessary was that kind of bubbly feeling you get around somebody like, hey, your dad says, go abroad for Christmas. So I was very angry. I started bashing him in my head. I bashed him. God knows that.
God.
I told my kid brother, who is late now, I told him, Sammy, listen to this guy, the guy that you saw me see off that day. He's a pastor at so-and-so church and so-and-so. He said, if he has come in here to come and do his preaching work, let him do his preaching work and go, what is this thing that I want to marry you? And that guy was my bodyguard, you know, the kid brothers.
Yeah.
So the third time he came after 2 days. And we were renting our accommodation space somewhere and we were cooking on our current residence. So when he came, he came to that place far and wanting to come and sit in the hall with me. I'm like, gentlemen, please, my parents will not allow this. Please go. I walked him out. I will link it to the story.
Great.
My mom just reminded me about 2 weeks ago. You know that woman who was buying me the Ifro dresses to go for the weddings? Yeah. She was expecting me to marry a pastor.
Whoa.
She never had that discussion with me.
And the pastor came?
And the pastor came. And that was the answer to the reason why I replied the letters. And that was a heartfelt prayer.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything. I didn't know qualities. What are the things you consider before you marry? I didn't know anything. So back to my auntie.
Yeah.
So the gentleman said, I want a wife, not a girlfriend. I didn't understand that statement, but I was glad because Church of Pentecost girl, I don't have to do girlfriend thing.
Yeah.
I found someone who is matured. He's 9.5 years older than me. And that will be fine because my dad was 10 years older than my mom, but we never saw the difference.
Mine too.
That's fine. I hope you are treating her like a dad because that was my biggest expectation. I never got.
I mean, my dad and my mom, they were 10 years
I thought yours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so sometimes when God shines his face on you, it works. It works when the difference is about a decade or nearly a decade. Other times to become something else. So for me, the difference I suspect, because I'm not in the other party's head, I can only suspect, that was more than the age difference. With the age difference, it became like father and daughter. Okay. And there were many other differences I suspect ate somebody up.
Okay.
There was never a discussion on that, so I cannot say for a fact. So that was I think in May or so. A few months later, we had our engagement in August.
Okay.
So what I did was that I agreed. I agreed after that conversation. I came home. My dad asked me, what transpired? I said, this was what transpired. And what's your take? I said, I'm not interested. I don't think I can cope. He said, oh no, but the most important thing is the guy should be working. The guy should be a Christian. Doesn't he have all these? I said, yes. Yeah, so for love, it grows. and I'm a daddy's girl. So anything daddy says, I would do. So I started building some interest.
Okay.
And we moved it on. So 28 August 1994, my father blessed us in the presence of some church elders and family. And that was it. Great. For me, that would have been the end of the matter for me because I've never been a fan of church weddings. But remember my mother's interest. So we had to.
You'll be going for weddings.
So we had to. And because I was not interested in the wedding, I chose for us to do it in the man's church. Okay. At the time, my father had deflected from Pentecost to the Presbyterian church.
Okay.
That story is for another day. So we were all at the Presbyterian church. So ideally, the wedding should have happened in his hometown at the Presbyterian church. But I asked that it happens in the man's church.
Okay.
So we did that in the man's church. And we did that at Sakumono, the place that has become the PIWC now. No, but not that place, the old place.
Okay.
So we did that. And then we got married. And marriage had started. 2 weeks into the whole thing, I was like, what is this?
Wow.
Because this man goes to work and comes back home earliest time 9 p.m. His friends had told me, but I didn't see the practicality of it. I was not living with him. So I will return from my village on a Friday and spend the weekend there. And I'm telling you, for people to live their best between Friday and Sunday, anybody and everybody can do that, including me. But for us to live, sleep, wake up, 1 year, 2 years, same bed, same position.
24/7.
That is the assignment. Just this morning, somebody told me, as if she knew I was coming here. She was living with her mom and coming on weekends to the husband. Now her mom has moved out to a faraway place. So she's now fully domiciled with the husband.
Okay.
And she has started seeing things that she didn't know.
No.
But they've been married for 12 years.
Wow.
So just this afternoon, I dropped her off and I came here.
Wow.
And so if I see this, I said, Mommy, today I know better. So please calm down. Consider yourself as in dealing with your 6-year-old son and manage it. If that gentleman were your son, you wouldn't complain every day. That was what I told her. But we'll talk about that later.
Sure.
So we started, and God blessed me to the extent that I believe same day we met as a couple, I took in. Because 2 weeks after our wedding, I started feeling funny. Wow. And we had our first child in July. We had a wedding in November, and we had the first child in July 1995.
Okay, so Daddy blessed you in August?
Yes, and you had a wedding in November.
Okay, yeah.
My wedding was blessed by one Pastor Kuju.
Okay.
Around Tema area.
Okay.
So we have been together, and after 4 years, we had a boy.
Great.
So we had lived together for about 5-6 years, and I realized that a lot of things didn't sit well with me.
Okay.
We don't have conversations. He comes across as a man of few words, though, but I know when he meets his peers, he's very affable. And I didn't understand. And a lot of things started eating me up. But I had also had a few relationships before the marriage.
Okay.
So I started looking back, fantasizing those times. And these are some of the flaws that I had. And so once I started doing that, the devil also positioned things very well. And I started resenting him. I don't know in his head where he had positioned me.
Okay.
Because one thing he used to say was Akolano when he's referring to me.
Oh, wow.
Akolano. I didn't like that. So one day I heard him refer to our best man's wife as Akolano Osise. And I used that opportunity. Oh, Papa, I called him by his initials. So I mentioned those initials and as a word.
Okay.
So I said, why do you describe our friend's wife as Akola? If she were Akola, would she be able to slay her in bed? Don't do that. I know that, for instance, me, you are older than me, but once we have become one and we are together, you can't do that. I have a name. If you don't have any pet name to give me, use my name. And then one thing led to the other. It's like, you don't respect. There were no banters between us.
Okay.
No. We never quarreled, but I cried almost all the time.
Wow.
And every child in my house noticed that this was an unhappy woman. So it got to a point that I am super daring. So I told myself that whatever can come, can come. I contemplated divorce after 5 years of marriage. And I kept it on low key for 6 years.
Wow.
Why? Because I was scared of the church. Those were the times that we had met.
Okay.
I was, I don't know, for some reason, I'm a bit significant everywhere I go. Whether I have a role to play or not, people get to notice me. So I was a bit skeptical.
Okay.
I was expecting that at least once in a year, let's talk about where we are going in this union. Nothing like that will happen. So we are just there. Give birth, child grow, give birth, child grow. And me, everywhere we go, I'll give it to you. Where you want it, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, everywhere. So I didn't know why those things couldn't happen. Yeah. So I said, I will leave. And in the bit of that, I started talking to an old friend. Okay. And the person gave me a lot of encouragement to stay. Okay. I don't know what happened. At the point when I had insisted to leave, the person picked up an interest in me.
Wow.
And so it gingered me up, and eventually I left. So when I left, it was difficult for my mother to play any role, but I pushed her. I asked her and my big sister to send the drinks to the man's family. And so they took it. And I stayed for 2 years, and I chanced on a lawyer, and I went to court.
Okay.
Thanks to my daring nature. So we started divorce. In 6 months, we were done.
Okay. So you had been married for
15 years.
15 years. You contemplated on the 5th year and stayed in for another 6 years. Wow.
And then I started showing up signs of leaving. Yeah. So I just got up one day and I left.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was able to leave because I was somewhat financially sound. So I could rent my own space.
Okay.
And first day I left, I had to sleep on the floor because I didn't have a bed. I put my mattress. I bought a mattress on the way, and I slept there for 6 months before I could make a bed. And
wow.
I was in pain. I don't know why I was in pain, but I was mourning some absence of something. I had not lived alone before. I lived in my father's house for 25 years. Before I left.
You left.
And hoping to find a continuation of my father's treatment. And for whatever expectations I had or some perceptions that I did not pay attention to, I was not happy. So I moved out. Nobody walked me out.
Nobody walked you out.
But I remember when I first spoke to the first lawyer, she listened to everything vividly and told me that, listen, never say you left. They sacked you. But you failed to hear that. And today I know a lot of guys will say, I will not send you away, but what I'll do to you, you walk away.
You would go yourself.
So I remember one day I asked him, I can see you don't love me. If you don't love me, send me back to my parents. And he asked, don't you know the way to your home?
Wow.
So when the lawyer said that, I remembered that statement. And I was like, look, I won't guilt trip myself again. I'm gone. So I turned on the healing button, but I did not wait for the appropriate time to move on. I moved on prematurely.
Wow. So you left, and then quickly you wanted to be somewhere to move on and kind of continue. And you mentioned that your challenge was with the church and all of those. How did you gather the courage now to be able to move on? And in those moments, what happened with regards to your fellowship and all of those?
Good. So I had not told anybody in the church about my predicament. And when I moved on I was expecting the church where we had our wedding to probably look for a lost soul. Because definitely somebody would have told them that, oh, my partner is not coming with me here again because she's moved out. Or there was some heat. I remember one elder called me, a very significant elder in the church at national level, called me and asked, what exactly is happening? Because we don't see it, and it is true. Many unions mimic peace of mind outside, but the individuals have huge resentment of their partners in their hearts, which God alone can speak about. Because when you engage them, they won't talk.
Okay.
Either they won't talk or they don't even know what to talk about. But there is something eating them up, which I think is demonic. Today, I can describe it as such. So I remember when the elder called me and asked me, I told him that I want to wear lipsticks. He doesn't like it. I want to wear nail polish. He doesn't like it. And today I asked myself, what kind of rubbish was that?
And those were not really the issues.
I don't know.
You just wanted to say something.
Yes. I know, but those ones too were something. I don't even understand how and why that thing happened. But the environment was not welcoming to me. And don't forget, I suspect I had started talking to old friends.
Yeah.
So many a time you are tempted to feel like the grass is greener on the other side.
And the energies were kind of divided because you were looking somewhere else.
Probably.
And also within.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. And now you find yourself in another union. Is it that which metamorphosed into the second marriage?
Yeah, and before I get there, after the elder spoke to me, I personally went to our district pastor.
Great.
Then our district pastor.
Okay.
I will not go further with that.
Okay.
So he came to the house, and he came there twice and never met my husband. So I believe he himself was contemplating, I come here on Sunday afternoon, I don't meet this man. So is it true or it is not true? So one day he told me that I have called him, and he says, you can go ahead with whatever you want to do because he's getting older. Wow. And probably he doesn't have the time to nurse some baby. Baby who has heavy expectations. So those were the two people that gave me a listening ear from the church before I moved on.
Okay.
So when I moved on, I was chatting with my friends, and one particular one got stuck to me, and I got the opportunity to travel outside the country where that friend was also.
Okay.
In fact, it was my kid brother who invited me.
Okay.
But he took over the visit. So I went to visit him.
Okay.
And I was in the church. But when I went there, I had my own way. And coincidentally, before I left, I had changed jobs.
Okay.
And my boss then was a pastor's wife. So when I went to tell him the day before my flight, I was going on leave tomorrow, I'm going to this country. It's like, okay, may you go well, and make sure nobody goes to turn your head around. I beg you. I just laughed at her. But penny. Yeah. If you see an elderly person, the things that they can see lying down, you can be on top of this roof, you may not be able to see. So the guy took over the visit. I stayed most of the time with him. I visited with my brother a few times, and I came back. So every year, before the year begins, my ticket is bought and it's sitting in my email waiting for my leave. Then I go, and I enjoyed that. So when he requested that we come together in a union, I didn't hesitate at all.
And you had seen that this was a bit more comforting, loving environment than the previous one.
Yes, because I was blinded with my expectations, I failed to identify the patterns.
Great.
But later on, the patterns came up heavily and shocking. Shocking to me to the extent that alcoholism became a bigger part of somebody that I never knew was into alcohol like that. But I remember each time I visited a table, he would buy a bottle of alcohol or something. And it was not anything bad for me, for him, because he had abandoned his religious practices for quite some time. But the gentleman that I was living with was also doing some social drinking, some along the line. So I left that one for God to do his judgment. But I didn't know that that habit was a sign, a tip of the iceberg, which had something bigger underneath.
Okay. So fast forward from you traveling almost every year for leave. What happened to that relationship too?
Yeah, so we cohabitated, and we had a baby, your friend.
Okay.
So we had a baby, and when I took in, I was 40 years. I had a baby at 41. And at that time, I had walked out of my previous marriage, but had not annulled it in court. I had sent the drinks.
Okay.
So it was after the childbirth that I met a God-fearing lawyer, and he put some wisdom in my head. He said, listen, if you have walked out and you are not considering going back, please do the needful before it becomes an albatross around your neck and you have a very bad name. So I went into his chambers and he named his price and we rolled it out. And in like 6 months, by God's grace, I was done. At that time, I didn't have any pain at all. I was glad. I felt I was winning. Yes, until this very one blew up into something else. Okay. And I was shocked that you just wake up one day and walk out. I don't know what I have done. And I was confused. Then I started playing back my whole life, and I spotted it that the saying that we do in Ghana, nowhere cool, it is true. And the grass is not greener on the other side. For all you know, it probably might have been sprayed with some green oil paint, or it's an artificial turf.
Or might have rained the last night.
Probably.
Make it greener.
Anybody who plants a lawn knows how difficult it is to keep the lawn manicured and very green. It's the same with marriage. Wow. You need to manicure it properly before it looks that green. Otherwise, you may misconstrue somebody's artificial turf as a manicured lawn.
Wow. Great. So now, finally, the first marriage is dissolved. And this one with this new person overseas also sees a child. And it becomes marriage. Do you see imprints from the previous in the second? Or were the things that led to the separation different from the earlier scenario? And how is it that it happened that one day you couldn't find him again? And that is how it has been. So that marriage is still hanging, if I should put it that way, except that now you are not living together with the person.
When I moved on like that, we had the baby, and after, I think, 7 years, it was not easy. The joy was good until the baby was like 2 or 3. And after that, it was not interesting again. Because you come in for about a year or two, go back for a year, and the phone calls were all terrible. So it was for me to have identified that this building project cannot be finished. But I had a fear. What will people say? You were doing too much. You thought you were going somewhere with this. You couldn't. So I just hung on like that, trying to probably dress better, cook better, offer support better. But it didn't help.
Wow.
It didn't help. So I realized that I had grown very quiet. I didn't want to comment about anything. In my previous one, I would want to poke my nose into stuff, like a wife, want to give my version of the issues that were happening. But in this one, I was not doing that. We were very free at first. But when I saw that the freeness was dwindling, I quickly kept quiet. And that was how it was. When I come in and something is eating me up, I won't discuss it. That was how it all happened.
Wow. So how have you coped till now?
I have coped by the grace of God. In the other room, it is not easy. Many a times, I feel funny, and I'm somebody who has loved sex. And that was why I said anywhere, everywhere, everywhere we go. Yeah, but now all of a sudden, I was not prepared for that. I never thought that in my 50s I'll be living alone. But it has happened. And now I've come to know God better. And I am not able, if even I want to, I am not able to have that kind of intimate relationship with the opposite sex without the rightful things being done. And now I have some fears. I'm asking myself, will you come smiling and go with a dagger? I keep asking myself so many questions. So I rather immerse myself into God's things, and my life is a triangular. Go to church,
God,
come home,
work.
church, come home,
Great.
work. My best place has always been my bedroom, but this time I sleep more because there is nothing much I'm doing. So if I'm not working and I'm not in church, I'm in my bedroom.
Great. In all that you have shared, I want to find out the church's role in it. I mean, the first one you mentioned, 2 people came to talk to you, and then the current one, how has it been with the church all through till now?
The way I started it made it difficult for me to present it before church. Because when I came back from the US the second time, I had taken in, and I was very sick. And my presiding elder was a virologist, scientist for that matter. When he saw me for the first day, I came back on Saturday. Sunday, I went to church very sick. He noticed I was not well. So when we closed, I went to him. I told him that I am not well at all. I want to have a word with him. So he gave me time, and I went to see him.
Okay.
And I told him bluntly, I'm pregnant, and I don't have a husband. The person responsible doesn't live in the country. When he comes back, I'll bring him to come and see you. Don't forget, I was 40 years.
Yeah.
So there was no way I was going in for any procedure I could afford. But again, the God part of me was very much alive then. There is no sinner who says he doesn't recognize God. That is why when you are about to do something untoward, you look left, right, forward, back. You never look up because you know there is a God up there. So I knew. So I told him that. He said, okay, let the person come and let's talk.
Okay.
So when he came, we went to see him, and he gave him his pieces of advice.
Okay.
And we tried to do what we had to do, but it couldn't work. So it turned into cohabitation. So the district pastor then, his wife was my friend, and she called me and said, Emma, you have put me to shame.
Oh.
I trusted you, but I understand. So this is what we are going to do. And I stopped going to church then. So we are going to excommunicate you, and we
Suspend,
will
you mean?
suspend you. Suspend you, and it will be announced in the church. I said, fine. All right. I wouldn't have been bothered if I was in church that day, because I knew what was ahead of me when I noticed there was a baby. And yet I wanted to be with my God. So they announced it, but I was not in church. And I kept going to church. All those times we were together in that classroom.
I remember.
Yes, that was my state. But because of my height, often I sat at the back. So I couldn't be bothered for the status. And nowadays, when it happens, nobody says you sit at the back and whatever. And they don't do those things anymore. But I knew that that position was significant to the growth of the Church of God. Because one day I told God, I was still very serious with my God, though. So I told God, listen, I want to leave this church and go to another church. And the voice of God told me, are you going to me or you are going to the church? If you are going to see me, I am the same God here, and I am there, and I know you. So stay here, endure the discipline, so that the youth will know, these were the words, so that the youth will know that Christianity is not like a piece of banana or the middle part of bread. It gets tough. I was looking for somebody to show an example to the youth, but you brought yourself, so I used you. Then I told God that I am your child, irrespective of where I've been, because you have promised me that if I confess and have done that, so I know you've forgiven me. But I will live with the consequence, because my late dad taught me that sin must be punished, though God will forgive you. So I live with the consequence. And you know what? When I moved house, the place I went to stay, when I opened my window, it's in the compound of Church of Pentecost. And I stopped going to church for 3 months. But every Sunday, their call to worship was in my ears, and I would cry my eyes out. The only thing I was not doing was to give my offertory and my tithe. They should have come to locate me and collect. So when the voice of God came to me like that, I didn't go. I remember telling you before, some time ago, that once I am reinstated, I will leave.
Yes.
Because I lived very far from the church, but because of that voice, I decided to come. And the voice mentioned the lady's name, that this girl is watching you. So I need her to learn from you. Then I realized that I had become a project work for God. So there were no games playing here.
Yeah.
So I humbled myself and went through it. Now, I was suspended because I had taken in out of wedlock, not because I had divorced.
Yeah.
Nobody suspends you for divorce. That is between you and your God. Unless it is on a certain basis that cannot be explained. So I decided that, thank God I am here. Do unto me what you want to do. Because if the man comes to perform the marital rites and I'm married now, I'll be reinstated. But it was not forthcoming. So we were there. And then one time he returned and said, let your mother know I want to do the needful. And my mother was not willing because his plate was also not clean. I knew, but I was lied to. Oh, once I get into the country, in 3 months' time, it will be gone. Don't listen to anybody who tells you that I've fallen out of love with my wife and I will divorce. I'm in the process. Please, if he wants to marry you after his wife, let him finish the process. Clean before you poke your nose. Otherwise, you have caused idolatry.
Wow.
That was what I found myself in. But I clinged onto it trying to make that mine. But something which is not yours will never be yours, no matter how hard you try.
Wow. So we'll be rounding up now. We want to find out, have you healed? Are you healing? And what are lessons that you want to share? Maybe somebody is watching, the person is married. We have the married watching. We have the young people who are aspiring to marry watching. We have divorcees also watching. What do you have? First of all, with the healing bit, and then what it is you have to share.
I have been through a lot of pain. Occasionally, I go through pain. I'm not pained because I've lost a darling. I am pained because I painted a certain future with that new relationship in mind. And that future will never happen. And that is where I'm pained. In the early days, I would go to the bathroom and shout, speak my mind into the bathroom, because I have a little girl I was nursing. I didn't want her to know. In the bathroom, nobody would come there. That was where I did all my crying. So I realized that I had to accept the hard truth that, listen, that future will never happen. So forget it and move on. So now, by the grace of God, some way, somehow, it is well. I have healed about a higher percentage.
We thank God.
Yeah.
We thank God. And how has the restoration been? Because we know that God is gracious, God is compassionate, and He is very close and near to the brokenhearted. And so in those moments, He becomes like your resort, your place of rest and comfort.
He is still my place of comfort. God hates divorce, like Malachi says.
Yes.
But He doesn't hate the divorcee.
True.
And I don't think that I chose to divorce like that. Circumstances led to that thing happening. Because, of course, if you are in a relationship where your livelihood, your well-being is threatened anyway, anyhow, I don't know how to describe it, then you have to seek refuge. But if it's something that both parties are level-headed and you can deal with, that is fine. The best you can handle is separation, and then you work things out and come back. But many a time, separation may not bring you back. Yeah, God has been my support, because I realize that I'm still a human being. And I created this scenario that if we go out to preach and we win souls, initially we go to baptize them. We don't even care about who they are. You don't know the baggage the person carries. But we baptize them, bring them to church, and start teaching them the word of God. And they stay. So I considered myself as a new convert that they have met somewhere on the street and they have brought to God. And I have developed a personal relationship with my God, even during my naughty girl stages. So I went back to that relationship.
Great.
And God, being the loving Father He is, took me in and has still become my refuge and my support.
Wow. We really, really, really cherish the courage and the boldness to want to share this part of your life with us and our viewers. And I believe that it's been full of lessons for the married, full of lessons for the single, and also for the divorcee. Maybe your last words. You said something that the grass is not greener on the other side, which means that there could have been something that could have helped to maybe stay at the other grass where it is. Maybe somebody is contemplating the marriage is getting to a place where it's almost over, but it is still within grips because there is still something that can be done. What are your words to such people?
Okay, I'll say two things. One, identify and address the issues that are eating you both up. So identify the elephant in the room. What is it? Identify the part that you play that you think is not working well. Those are for the first one.
Great.
And then check if there are any toxic behaviors. Try and deal with them. That is if you have decided that you want to recline or resent the decision of divorce. And also make sure that you look at self-transformation. Make sure that you focus on personal growth. And also trust in the fact that as you are going to rebuild, it will work. If you do not trust that it will work, it will not go anywhere. And try as much as possible to accept each other. That is when you have decided that for this that you have heard, you want to keep your relationship because it is not greener
on the other side.
When you go out there and want it to be greener, because of the experiences you've had from the other side, you will work it well. That is when you will see it as it's greener, but it's not already made greener for you to go and play on.
Miss Adwoa Oseidua, we are so glad to have you. And for you listening to us, maybe you've come to that point where you think your marriage is getting to the end, or you are looking for some resolve or whatever it is. We want to encourage you that God still loves you. And like our dear mother has said, if you are ready to work on the things that are going on in the marriage, committed to prayer and do those which you can, I believe that no marriage is too far from it being redeemed or being held by God. And God richly bless you for making time to watch this. If you are struggling in that regard, we want to pray with you that, Father, everyone going through any kind of difficulty in this moment, marriages that are on the rocks, those that are strained, those that are stressed, those that are going through hard times, we pray in the name of Jesus that you will bring peace, you would bring resolve even in the hearts of the man and the woman, that they would find the reason for which to work together so that they continue to remain in this covenant that you have made, and that they will see the fruit of their labor even in this marriage that you have given them, in the mighty name of Jesus. We want to encourage you. You can speak to your pastor, you can speak to your counselor, you can speak to anybody in Christ that you so admire, and I believe that they will be very helpful to you. Every marriage, we believe, is not too destroyed for God to intervene and to come and save. God richly bless you, Auntie Emma, like I call you every day, and we wish you the very best in life. And God bless you that you have taken it upon yourself to share this story so that others also learn from the experiences you have. We are grateful. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.